All right, I'm joined on the line right now with someone who pretty much doesn't need an introduction. He had 5 studio or albums as a solo artist, of course, 3 albums with his group House of Pain, many other accolades over the last 20 years. I'm talking, of course, with Mr. Everlast. Ev, how's it going, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's up with you?
Just hanging out. Dude, it's like such a pleasure to talk to you. I mean, you've done so much over the last, like I said, 20 years. You got a new album, came out September 23rd, your 5th studio album, Love, War, and the Ghost of Whitey Ford. Now, I understand the love part of it, and of course the war part is kind of a political thing. What's the deal with the Ghost of Whitey Ford? Is this a new beginning for you, or what's behind the title?
Kind of, sort of. It's just, it's kind of talking about mostly like the sound. It's like, you know, I try to be more aggressive with the production and instrumentation on the album and push a little bit further beyond just like the quote-unquote acoustic kind of sound people seem to, you know, associate with me with mostly. I just wanted to kind of make a little bit broader scope of a sound, but the Ghost of Whitey Ford kind of meaning like the spirit of what I do is still the same.
Awesome. I'm loving the new album, by the way. It's solid all the way through. Like you said, you really mix it up on this one. You can't really like classify it as a rock album, a hip hop album, and like you said, the Ghost of Whitey Ford. So I mean, that's pretty much what you're going for then, just a mix of different sounds.
Yeah, you know, for me it's all hip hop. Like all music is hip hop, but for me, because that's just how I come to it and how I approach it. And, you know, hip-hop has derived with, you know, the samples and styles have been derived from every other form of music and made into its own kind of genre. And I'm kind of just almost, I feel like sometimes reversing that process and taking hip-hop into these other styles, but not necessarily a rap presence. Like, for me, it can be an attitude, it could be a drum beat. It could be an allusion or alluding to a hip-hop melody in a song, like, you know, hidden in there, kind of like, it's like there's things that I just try, anything that influences me, I try to, you know, or anything that I hear that I dig on a lot, usually somehow I'll work it into what I do. So that's why it's so many different kind of styles going on. Yeah,
and on the new album, of course, you do the cover of Folsom Prison Blues. Like many people, you're a fan of the late, great Johnny Cash. Why'd you specifically cover that song?
Honestly, it came because DJ Muggs and myself were playing a lot of parties, like around Vegas and LA and stuff, like doing live mashups where he'd like DJ and I'd play guitar and sing. And it was one of the songs we just were covering live, like, and, you know, obviously that's how the Insane in the Membrane beat kind of came into play. Was Muggs cutting that up, and I just started playing Folsom Prison over it. And after doing it live a bunch and seeing that the crowd really was kind of digging on it and that we were digging on it, we just decided to record it.
Yeah. So you're saying the crowds like it because some people out there, of course, are going to be negative, say, you know, you're ruining a great song. Did that ever come into your mind?
What, is this on the radio?
No, it's not.
Oh, well, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't for them, dude.
Yeah.
It ain't for them.
Oh, good.
I'm ruining a song. Go listen to the original. If anything, I'm bringing young people who may not know who Johnny Cash is or be familiar with his song, making them more familiar with what he does. And it's called a mashup. You know, if people ain't hip to what it is, they're probably too old to fucking get it. I mean, the people that hate it can hate. I mean, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing your job. I mean,
totally, yeah.
There's this comedian, Cat Williams. He had this line in one of his comedy sketches things that he was like, you know, hey, man, if I got 10 haters to start the day, if I don't have 15 by the end, I don't feel like I did my job.
Words to live by. Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, we're definitely glad you did it, because definitely loving it. Like, no complaints here whatsoever, for sure.
It's fun. Fuck everybody that don't see that it's fun, you know what I mean? And Johnny Cash's son gave me the thumbs up, you know, and even told me he thought his pops would have dug it. So once I heard that, I was like, you know what, cool. As long as I ain't disrespecting nobody in the fam, I'm running with it because I dig it.
Yeah, good call, good call. And now you're playing in Nashville tonight, right?
I'm sitting in the middle of Nashville right now.
Can I assume that's going to be on the set list tonight then?
Oh yeah, that's on the set list every night, man.
Nice.
My favorite. It's fun to play. It's just fun to play.
Yeah, I bet. I mentioned it, obviously, that the album's very diverse. I noticed you pay respect to your Muslim faith, whether it's the intro to Stone in My Hand with the sitar-sounding instrument, or maybe the female singing in the background of Letters from the Garden of Stone. Even your website, Martyr Inc., the way it's laid out. Now, sadly, of course, in North America, there's usually a lot of negative stereotypes when it comes to the Muslim faith. Has that affected you, or the way people perceive you at all?
I'm sure there are people who, you know, have problems with it, but it's like, if you look deeper on the website, that's your initial thing, is I hit you with, like, okay, here's what you think you're seeing. You think you're seeing some kind of the title Martyr Inc., and you see Everlast vaguely Arabic looking in the logo, but if you look deeper, there's Hebrew, there's mathematics, there's Chinese, there's the layers of what's going on with what I'm doing are way deeper than the surface. So it's like for me, it's like art should provoke people. You know what I mean? It's like, to a certain degree, it's my responsibility to provoke. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to provoke negative responses, but I'd rather, if you ain't gonna have a positive response, provoking a negative one, my art is still as effective. You know what I mean? Like it's the person who could walk by it and be like, whatever, it's nothing to me. That's when you fail.
For sure.
Really. As far as art is concerned, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
There's people who will tell you in the record business, if you don't sell records, you fail. Yeah, okay. But I'm talking about as far as art is concerned. You know what I mean? Like, to be hated is as good as to be loved.
Yeah. Now, you're able to release your art through your own record label now, Martyr Inc. Is that just a way of getting your music out, or do you plan on signing some other artists out there? What's the plan with that?
Only time will tell on anything besides me. First I'm out here right now just trying to promote this record. I got a long road ahead of me. If the opportunity strikes and lightning hits and I see something that I just absolutely think I need to be involved with, I would probably try and do it, but that's a long way off at the moment.
Yeah, you talk a lot about art, of course, on your blog. You're always taking photos. You're like promoting other artists out there. Is that important? You've been in the industry for so long. When you're connecting with your fans to kind of like show what you appreciate and show what you like, and get other artists out there and like showing to all your fans and whatnot. If they're into you, maybe they'll be into these other things. Because I did notice a lot of art on your blogs, and of course also the photos you're taking.
If you live your life right, it's art. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, as far as the artists I promote on the website, it's just stuff I like. It's like letting people know, like, look, maybe I found a little, nugget of gold in the river, and maybe y'all can jump on board, or at least, hey, check him out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or just news about artists that I like.
Yeah. So, yeah. I noticed lots of the UFC fights. I see you in the crowd at some of them. You a big UFC fan?
Oh yeah, I go to as many of them as I can. Yeah. Dana White, real good buddy. He's been a friend for a while, and I've been a fan since basically the beginning. Yeah.
They got the big fights, UFC 89 this weekend. Lieben versus Bisping. That's the big one. If I had money, who do I put it on?
Man, honestly, I'm going with Lieben.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going with Chris Lieben, man. He's shocked me way too many times for me to go against.
Yeah.
Dude, he's come out of nowhere and just really whooped an ass, every time you thought he was done.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe what he says, that he ain't going all the way to England to lose, you know what I mean? And, I got respect for Bisping. He's coming down in weight too, right? He's down now, so yeah. It's going to be a good fight, man. Actually, I forgot that dude is coming down in weight. He came down from 205. He's fighting 185 now, right? Yeah. He's actually going to be more dangerous, Bisping. But I don't know. If I was laying down a bet right now today at the sports book, I'd probably take Lieben.
All right, that's what my money's on, because I know you've seen a lot more of the fights than I have live in person. So you obviously know what you're talking about.
Griffin when nobody else, when the whole world was trying to say Rampage was going to win that one.
Yeah. I actually saw the photo of you actually getting the $100 from your buddy.
Don't bet against the Irish, man. Don't bet against.
Speaking of the Irish, Celtics, are they going to repeat this year or what?
Oh man, they got, we'll see.
Yeah.
That's only to be seen. Last year I had a bet actually with my boy Slane from Coca that he's from Boston, so I had the Lakers, he had the Celtics, and I got the bad end of that stick. So what happened?
I got to go for my boy Steve Nash in Phoenix, so we'll see what happens.
You got to go Canadian.
Exactly.
Dog.
I got no choice, man. Awesome. Well, thanks again for talking to us. Love War and the Ghost of Whitey Ford. Awesome album in stores now. Get it, because you'll love it. All the best in the future. I know there's a bit of economic hardship in the U.S. right now. Of course, you got the elections coming up, and I hope for the world's sake that you guys pick the right person down there.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey. If it doesn't, there's going to be a whole lot of people moving to Canada.
We'll welcome you guys. Everlast, you can stay in my place, okay?
Y'all need to make some space. Start building a few extra buildings up there, man, because you might have a rush come November 5th.
Awesome, Everlast. Like I said, best of luck in the future, and all the best to you. Thanks again for taking the time to talk with us.
All right, buddy.